వస్తున్నాయా? చెప్పు. చాలు. ఆ, మా ఒకసారి చూడండి చూడండి. ఆనే 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 ఎవరైనా మాట్లాడినప్పుడు తెలుస్తుంది. ఒకసారి ఏంటో చదివి స్పీకర్ ఉందంటే ప్రాబ్లం అంటే చెప్పు. అంటే వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడతారు కదా, స్పీకర్ వాయిస్ వెళ్తుంది కదా, అదే ఎలా చేస్తారు. ఎస్ సార్. సరే.
We are awaiting the presence of our chief guest. We'll be starting the meeting shortly. Sorry for the delay. Thank you. years of independence and the glorious history of its people, culture, and achievements.
A very good evening to all the dignitaries of today's program, namely the Honorable Chief Guest, Additional Chief Secretary, Industries Department, Government of Tamil Nadu, Shri S. Krishnan Salai, IAS, respected Deputy Director General, Southern Region, Bureau of Indian Standards, Shri S.P. Yadav sir, respected Guest of Honor, Co-Convener, CII Tamil Nadu Manufacturing Panel, GM Operations, Caterpillar, India Private Limited, Shri and Ambusharian sir, respected Guest of Honor, President, Tamil Nadu Small and Medium Industries Associations Limited, Shri K. Mariappan sir, respected Guest of Honor, Group CEO, Voltec Group, Shri T. Hariraj sir, respected Head of Chennai Branch Office, Bureau of Indian Standards, Srimati G. Bhavani ma'am, respected seniors, colleagues, representatives from industry and the media.
At the outset, on behalf of Bureau of Indian Standards, Southern Regional Office, Chennai 1, I am G. Durga Prasad, Scientist B, along with my co-MC, Joshna Priya Raghu, Scientist B, are thankful to you for being a part of celebration of iconic field program. We offer you our warmest welcome.
Bureau of Indian Standards, operating under the aegis of Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, is the national standards body of India. BIS was established under the BIS Act 2016 for the harmonious development of activities of standardization, marking, and quality of certification of goods. BIS has been providing principal and tangible benefits to the national economy in a number of ways, providing safe and reliable quality goods, minimizing health hazards to consumers, promoting export and import substitutes, maintaining control over proliferation of varieties, etc., through standardization, certification, and testing.
On the occasion of 75 years of India's independence and as a part of the iconic Click program, Chennai Branch Office is organizing a program celebrating the iconic week. Today, we have a highly accomplished panel of experts who have been role models in their field and have been an eminent part in the evolution of various industries. We are delighted to have them between us to deliberate on the theme for iconic week program under Azadi Mahotsav, which is journey from independent India to Atmanirbhar Bharat in quality.
Now I request Deputy Director General, Southern Region, Shri U.S.P. Yadav sir, to kindly welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Shri S. Krishnan sir, IAS, by presenting a bouquet and a shawl as a token of love and respect. Now I request Deputy Director General, Southern Region, Shri U.S.P. Yadav sir, to present bouquet and shawl to our acclaimed guest of honor, Shri N. Ambusharian sir.
We request Scientist E and Head Chennai Branch Office, Srimati G. Bhavani ma'am, to present bouquet and shawl to our respected guest of honor, Shri K. Mariappan sir.
I would request Scientist Shri and Head Chennai Branch Office, Srimati G. Bhavani ma'am, to present bouquet and shawl to our respected guest of honor, Shri T. Hariraj sir.
Okay.
Let us start today's program with invocation. I request everyone to please stand for the invocation.
Knowledge, purity, and is the despair of the darkness. Lord Buddha said, if you light a lamp for someone else, it will brighten your path also. With these words, I would request the dignitaries on the dais to come forward to light the ceremonial lamp as we inaugurate the iconic week program under Azadi Amrit Mahotsav 2022. Thank you, dignitaries. Please be seated. Now, I would request Srimati G. Bhavani ma'am, Head Chennai Branch Office, Bureau of Indian Standards, to present the welcome address and program objectives.
Respected Chief Guest of today's function, Additional Chief Secretary to Government of Tamil Nadu, Industries Department, Shri S. Krishnan Sir, IAS, distinguished speakers from the industry, available Deputy Director General Southern Region, Shri USP Yadav Sir, enthusiastic members of the industry here, to all the stakeholders who are watching online, my dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all of you. At the outset, I would like to welcome our chief guest, Additional Chief Secretary, Industries Department, Shri Krishnan sir, who held a very supportive hand and immediately consented to be the chief guest for the program. Thank you very much, sir. Despite your busy schedule of heading our illustrious department that holds Tamil Nadu always in the forefront of industrialization. Hearty welcome to you, sir. Next, I extend my warm welcome to all the distinguished speakers of today's program. Shri Amrit from CII, a 25-year-old organization which works to create and sustain an environment conducive to the development of India. It also partners the industry, government, and civil society through advisory and consultative process. My warm welcome to Shri K. Maniappan, President, TANSTIA, that is Tamil Nadu State Small and Tiny Industries Association, which is the apex state-level association established 5 decades ago and which functions as an umbrella organization representing the interests of small, micro, and tiny industries. I also extend my warm welcome to Shri K. Kumapati, Managing Director, Volte Group. Fortunately, he's actually some health issue, and we have Shri Hariraj sir in his place. Volte Group is a pioneer in the field of electrical engineering. A hearty welcome to you, sir. We welcome you all to this program, and we are eager to hear from you, sir. Next, I welcome all the participants from various industries, industry associations, our renowned BIS, licensees, stakeholders, laboratories, assaying and hallmarking centers, jewelers, stakeholders for more than 5 decades. For a long association for whom quality has become a habit. Standards have become a way of life, which is our tagline. You can see the BIS logo, which says Manakaha Vat Pradarshakaha, which means standards show the way. And you all have lived up to it. Today, BIS stands tall as a 75-year-old organization, yet humble, and would like to look back at the path it treaded. It is certainly a red letter day for BIS. As part of iconic week of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we thought that honoring the people who have always stood for the ideals of quality, integrity, and nation building would be the best befitting thing that we could do to celebrate the spirit of 75 years of independence. We have invited the media who have turned up in large numbers, whom we welcome. Earnestly request to disseminate this information as far as possible, as wide as possible. With these words, I extend a warm welcome to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Our Deputy Director General, Southern Regional Office, Bureau of Indian Standards, Shri USP Yadav sir, has a master's degree in chemistry with specialization of organic chemistry. Sir is also into research in protein engineering for developing drug for thalassemia in IIT Kanpur. Sir is working in Bureau of Indian Standards since 1989 in its various functions like standardization, conformity assessment, training, policy making, etc. He is the lead auditor in Management System Certification of BIS. Sir, an auditor of the hallmarking of gold and silver. He is also trained by ISO Central Secretariat on conformity assessment, quality framework, and role of conformity assessment in regulatory framework. Sir has a rich experience of 29 years in product inspection and testing in the field of chemicals, cement, steel, foods, plastics, etc. Sir is also an assessor for National Quality Award of India, equivalent to Malcolm Bangladesh National Quality Award and Dewing Award. He also delivered lectures presented papers in various seminars and conferences on conformity assessment, standards, quality, and management system. He also prepared schemes, documents, and launched many new certification schemes such as RTMS, ATSMS, Ready Mix Concrete Certification, Integrated Leak Certification, AVMS, UIMS, and medical equipment in quality management systems. Now, I would request Deputy Director General Southern Region, Shri USP Yadav sir, to present the keynote address.
Members of the industry, media, BIS, the erstwhile name was Indian Standard Institutions. We started our journey just before the dawn of our independence. That is 6 January 1947. Before that, the industry used to utilize or use the standards mostly made by India's standard institutions. We did not have our own standards like our. So, in the society, the government thought since independence we have grown, now we should have our own standards. That's this journey started. As we all know that standards play a very important role in industry and society. Honorable Rajgopalachari as culture is to society, so standard is to the industry. Industry cannot think single moment without standards. And we have come a long way by formulating first standards, that is self-led, IS1, then status where we have formulated more than 21,000 standards. And from the simple product to very highly technical subjects like e-mobility, Internet of Things, blockchains, we are looking at these fields. We are also making standards. Standard has been developed not alone by the government standard. It is being developed with the active participation of the industry, even society. In fact, the very starting of the Bureau of Indian Standards, that is Indian Standard Institution, was by great contribution by Lala Savera. He offered his place to open up an office for Indian Standard Institution. Given donations were given to start this organization. So we owe regret to the industry, justice society, and whatever the BIS is today is because of industry and the business. So this is the occasion we are paying tribute to your contribution, your commemorating our association with you. And we are honored industries which have more than 25 years with us, holding the flag of quality and standard. Some of you may be remembering that how standard has contributed a lot to the economy and the country. I can give you one or two examples. Earlier, all overhead conductors were of copper. Those copper used to be imported from overseas. And that used to cost a huge foreign exchange to the newly born country. Then, the help of industry, we formulated a standards on the aluminum. All the conductors were replaced by the aluminum and saved a lot of. Another very landing example is from the Tamilnadu itself. For independence, the sand used for testing of cement used to be imported from. Because the standard, the testing were as per the British standards. So we, after becoming Indian Standard Institution, developed the standards and Tamil, that is very famously called Tamil. All over the India, it is supplying and depending on this source, all the cement industries, testing laboratories are. So these are the two contributions, standards, which I just sized. Now, as our Honorable Prime Minister told that we are in with car. So let us utilize this car to make our country Atmanirbhar in quality and standard. We should more take part in the international standardization programs so that our government, our leadership is established on the arena in the field of quality and standards. Let us make the Make in India or Make in India product and services be a synonym of quality so that people know throughout the world that India, anything made in India is an epitome of quality. I wish this program a very success and I give a call to all the industry fraternity to please actively involved in the standardization process and the quality of your products and services. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your informative and insightful words on BIS. The chief guest for today's event, Shri S. Krishnan Salai IAS, is currently the Additional Chief Secretary, Industries Department, Government of Tamil Nadu. With a service record of more than 30 years, Mr. Krishnan holds many accomplishments, such as serving the senior advisor in the Office of Executive Director for India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Bhutan, representing the Government of India in the G20 expert groups on international financial architecture and global financial safety nets, and assisting in preparing the union budget as well as the Tamil Nadu state budget during multiple years. He also been Additional Chief Secretary to Government of Tamil Nadu in Finance Department, Principal Secretary to Government of Tamil Nadu in Housing and Urban Development, and in the Planning, Development and Special Initiatives Department. He was the founder of CEO of Tamil Nadu Infrastructure Development Board. Through his multiple roles as a public administrator, Mr. Krishnan has demonstrated expertise in aspects of policy making, public finance, and socio-economic development issues. He holds a Bachelor of Arts from St. Stephen's College, Delhi University. With privilege and honor, it gives me immense pleasure to invite our distinguished chief guest, Additional Chief Secretary, Industries Department, Government of Tamil Nadu, Shri S. Krishnan Salai IAS, to give the inaugural address.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். முன்பு கேட்டுக்கொண்டது சற்று நேரம் தமிழில் உரையாற்றிய பிறகு BIS மண்டலத்தின் நிகழ்ச்சி என்பதனால் நிகழ்ச்சியில் மாநிலங்களுக்கு தொழில்துறையை சார்ந்தவர்கள் பங்கேற்கக்கூடும் என்கிற அடிப்படையில் இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியில் நான் ஆங்கிலத்திலேயும் பேசக்கூடிய கடமையை நான் தமிழில் பேசுவது scientists, Chennai Branch Office. Standards at மண்டலத்தை தலைவருக்கு யூஎஸ்பி யாரும் இந்த நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு வருகை சிஏ சார்பில் சிட்டியாக தலைவர் முதன்மை செயலர் ஹரிராஜா இந்த நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு வந்து தொழில் நிறுவனங்கள் சார்ந்த தொழில் அதிபர்களை பத்திரிகை சின்ன வயசு எந்த சின்னம் எது எனக்கு நினைவு தெரிந்த இஎஸ்ஐ மார்க் எப்போதுமே இஎஸ்ஐ மார்க் தரமான பொருள் நிகழ்ச்சியில் கலந்து கொண்டிருக்கிற அந்த முக்கியத்துவம் எந்த நிறுவனம் தான் ஒரு தரமுள்ள பொருள் இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன் நாட்டின் பொருளாதாரத்திற்கு மாநிலத்தின் பொருளாதார வளர்ச்சிக்கு தொழில்துறை வளர்ச்சிக்கு எந்த அளவுக்கு முக்கியம் வாய்ந்த ஒரு அடிப்படையாக வைத்துதான் ஒரு வளர்ச்சியை நீங்கள் ஒரு பொருள் வெளிச்சந்தையில் சென்று சான்றளிக்கப்பட்ட இதேபோல் ஆக வேண்டும் வீட்டுக்கு ஒரு பொருள் பிரஷர் குக்கர் வாங்கினீங்க அதில் ஐஎஸ்ஐ மார்க் சின்னம் மீது உள்ளது என்றுதான் Yes. Detailed specifications. Tamilnadu. Said, sometime let me ask this question. So, this time, I'm the biggest very often we used to travel on Badushas. See the areas of spirit. So this is an institution that one has associated certain vivid memories with their contribution. Should also the many women organizations to since we agricultural upgrading BIS similarly now about safety and security. This is a sense. That's what guess that one. That's what it's in industries. Important that services sense cannot be listed. Saves you the impact. Yes. Save the taken care of. Certification enables you to sell across industry and business. Like the rest, realize what is sand, 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 is being determined in India. ECR was adopted as the standardized sand for all cement manufacturers. A few months ago, and in the risk of process, and I would just like to advise you saying that these stocks of the sand may run out, and if they run out, we should make sure that the reserves remain identifying other quarries from which we can take similar sand. But this is the importance of the sand. It is we all learn, for instance, what exactly is 1 kilogram or what exactly is 1 meter in length and how the weight and the measures are all preserved. Similarly, standard becomes so important for us to live our daily life in terms of understanding clearly what is it that we are getting. What you see is what you get is based on the assurance that BIS gives you. That is the importance of this entire exercise. That is the basis on which trade and commerce flourishes. That is the basis on which manufacturing can be taken. So in that sense, this has been one of the more understated institutions in this country. And there are many such understated institutions which we must celebrate and preserve. That is what adds strength to the society, the economy, and quality of the country. As we celebrate their institutions,
Preserve their independence, ensure that they continue to perform the role that they are intended to. That is the mark of trust. That is the trust we need to preserve. When interaction takes place on the basis of trust, and trust when we place in an institution of that nature, we realize how important they perform for all of us. It is, I think, something we should pause to remember, we should pause to celebrate here today. I'm very happy that I was invited to this occasion,
that I accepted the invitation without hesitation. That is the nature of the institution. I think it is important to celebrate the institution of this nature, which is the primary reason why I accepted. It's also very important to state and just to have these standards, and unless you keep reinventing standards as newer and newer products. We pointed out how newer products, newer marks, new ISI standards are being issued all the time. And the extent to which they interact with industry and ensure that it works in a manner that is acceptable, and that is something which the industry can meet without much difficulty. In the case, I think it is very important to celebrate this. I'd like to congratulate all award winners on this occasion. We have been much more than any of us. You realize the importance of the institution. You have been adherence to a set of standards. You have been adherence to quality. By adhering to this quality, we've done a great service to the nation and society in terms of supplying products of nice good quality. I think all of you again have to be celebrated, deserve every ounce of every bit of hard work that you put in deserves to be applauded and congratulated on this. I think it's I commend the BIS for having recognized all of them who have shared the journey with them in all these years. I think they extremely significant role, and extremely happy to see that across the board industries represented, large industry, CII, small scale industry, TANSTIA, all of you are represented here today. And this is a measure, or this is a message of equality that we take. In Tamilnadu needs to grow. We can grow is by using quality prices. We have to export, and people have to buy what we produce in this state, then it has to meet certain quality standards. And that is something that I think manufacturers in Tamilnadu have recognized. Many of you have, in my own personal experience, I have seen that they have maintained the levels of quality which is expected of them. Many of you have ensured that expectations of your customers are met. And that is how we build the markets. That is how we build its reputation in actually powerhouse. Sporting states, India, again, is primarily the result of the quality consciousness and competence that our manufacturing industries have been engendered. So in that sense, I'm a bit of an outsider to this event. This is really between BIS and all of you. And I'm here just to stand on the sidelines and applaud all that you have done for the economy of the state and for the economy of the country. So let me congratulate each one of you again for all your contributions. And thank you. That's
Sir, thank you so much for sharing the perspective of both administrator and a common consumer in your engaging speech. We are truly amazed to witness your wisdom on various quality aspects of the country, and we work proactively to keep up the faith you had within us. Now, I would request Srimati G. Bhavani Ma'am, Head of Chennai Branch Office, Bureau of Indian Standards, to give the presentation on collective journey of BIS from independence to Atmanirbhar in quality.
The topic for this iconic week of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is collective journey from independence to Atmanirbhar in quality. So I would like to just bring out a brief history of Bureau of Indian Standards. Like Sir had told, it is from ISI to BIS. Can we have the presentation? Yeah. As you all know, the Bureau of Indian Standards started just before independence on 6th January 1947, and it was a registered society called ISI, Indian Standards Institution. The then Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, performed the foundation stone laying ceremony of the Indian Standards Institution near the Mathura Road, Delhi, on 21st August 1954. And in the same decade, Dr. Lal C. Varman was appointed as an advisor on standardization to the Government of India in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry with effect from 51 May. In that decade itself, the ISI seal, which was fixed on the goods conforming to the Indian standards by the manufacturers, that is the ISI mark. It is called the ISI Mark Certification Act that came into existence. Then the most important thing, which is IS1, our pride, that came into being. That was the Indian standard #1, which was for the national flag of India, that was standardized. Even now you can see flags conforming to the Indian standards are being stamped with the ISI certification mark. For 8 years, it operated from the headquarters only. And the first branch was opened in 1955 in Mumbai. And India was next, in the same decade, India was elected as a member of the governing council for 3 years at ISO. At that time, only 35 countries were with the ISO. And in 1955, the first certification marks license was granted. And you know, where was it? It was in the southern region, and the person he's also present here to receive the award. In the 1950s, notable changes took place. Sir was telling about meter, length, all these things. So this metric system was adopted in the 1950s, and the first training program on company standardization was held. In the same year, the same decade, 3 new branch offices were established, and in that, Chennai Branch Office is one which was set up in 1957. And an ISI lab was set up at the Manak Bhavan, the present office. In order to house its research and testing facilities, another building called Manakale, which still exists, was formed. The new building provided facilities to the growing scale of ISI's operations during the third 5-year plan. And next, in the 1970, the National Building Code was formulated, and the first meeting of the guiding committee was held in the year 1967. At that time, Dr. B.S. Krishnamachari was the DG who was in the dais with the chairman, the Major General Harkirat Singh. Next, in the same decade, that is 60s to 70s, we saw the International Organization for Standardization, that is ISO. Though it was established in 1947 with 67 technical committees, it was in the year 1970 that first World Standards Day was formally inaugurated by the then president of ISO, which we still celebrate with so much of fun and fervor. It is a very important day for Bureau of Indian Standards. 14th October of every year is celebrated as World Standards Day in order to commemorate the first meeting of the delegates of 25 countries in October 1946 in London. ISO was created by them only after a year later. And one more interesting thing is the year 1972 was declared as the Indian Standards Year by the Government of India, which is a great pride for us. C. Subramaniam, Union Minister of Industrial Development, Science and Technology, and the President of ISI laid the foundation laying ceremony of the ISI Central Laboratory, CL, we call it as, on 24th March 1973. We also established 5 more branch offices and 3 more labs were set up to increase the reach. DG ISI, Shri Dr. A.K. Gupta attended the 34th meeting of the ISO Council in September 1980. And later, he was appointed as the chairman of Development Committee, which is called DEVCO. An important milestone, that is the Laboratory Recognition Scheme, which is actually supporting our product certification scheme, was started in 1985. It is actually a specialized scheme which was developed for laboratories in India as well as outside India. Here the scheme is that the laboratories had to meet the specific standards, and this would serve the conformity assessment scheme of the Bureau of Indian Standards. In that year itself, in that decade, 4 new branch offices were established. Then in 1986, the National Consumer Act was there, and along with it, the Indian Standards Institution became Bureau of Indian Standards from 1st April 1987. This was done for the harmonious development of the activities of standardization, marking quality, and certification goods. In the year 1991, BIS initiated the Rajiv Gandhi National Quality Award, that is to recognize the Indian companies which excel in quality achievement and management. And then the establishment of the National Institute of Training and Standardization, which is called NITS, took place, and that main activity was to train both internal as well as the international participants in the quality aspects. And that year was also 1991. Also, we started the Quality Management Systems Scheme, that is ISO 9000, as well as certification under EcoMark. And also ISO 14001 was also started by BIS in the 1990s. The Golden Jubilee year on consumer welfare and quality was held on 15 September 1997. The then Prime Minister, Shri CIT Gujral, inaugurated the seminar along with our then DG, Shri P.S. Das. The Central Laboratory in the 90s got the NABL accreditation as per ISO IEC Guide 24, which is a big milestone. And then the next famous mark of Bureau of Indian Standards, next to Hallmark, next to ISI mark, the hallmarking was launched in the year 2000 in order to protect the consumer interests. In the same year, we had a new BIS website, and the Foreign Manufacturers Certification Scheme was launched. Anything that enters India shall enter with ISI mark, and that was the purpose of this scheme. In the early 2000s, the first license was granted under the Foreign Manufacturers Certification Scheme. It was thought that the public services, the attitude had changed. The public services should not be run to suit the wishes of service providers, but to suit the convenience of the customers. A citizen charter was also launched in that decade, that is 2000s. Next, we had more launch of the system certification activity on Occupational Health Safety Management System, IS 18001. We expanded with 2 more branches. In the year 2005, hallmarking of silver jewelry was launched, along with 3 more certification schemes, namely the Food Safety Management Systems, the Hazard and Service Quality Management System as per ISO 15700. With the initiation of silver hallmarking, a referral lab was set up at the Southern Regional Office Laboratory. The next decade saw important MOUs signed by our Director General for Standards and Metrology with Oman, with Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, USC. And we also had, we had launched the Manak Online and the registration scheme, which was for the electronic goods. In the 2014, we launched the scheme with just 15 products, and now we have 48 products, which is for mostly electronic goods and solar photovoltaic cells. From 2016, there has been a renaissance. BIS has become totally digital. We launched eBIS, which encompasses all the schemes, all the activities of Bureau of Indian Standards. We also launched the Laboratory Information Management Systems, and the latest addition is the Bureau of Indian Standards, a CAD, BIS CAD app, which is a mobile app which can be downloaded from the Play Store. So in this, we have a lot of important tiles which are very useful, not only for the common man, but for the government departments, for the industry, for all the stakeholders. So this was a brief history of Bureau of Indian Standards. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. for explaining the journey of BIS from its inception to the present state of excellence. This iconic program acknowledges the collective journey from independence to Atmanirbhar in quality. Towards this special event in the history of BIS and quality, a special souvenir has been prepared, incorporating the details of our branch offices and the messages from our officials. It also contains the list of folks who are in association with BIS for more than 50 and 25 years, respectively. Now, I would like to request our distinguished chief guest, Additional Chief Secretary, Industries Department of Government of Tamil Nadu, Shri S. Krishnan Salai, IAS, to release the souvenir on this grand occasion.
Thank you, sir. Today, I feel elated to introduce to you our guest of honor, co-convener CII Tamil Nadu Manufacturing Panel, GM Operations Caterpillar India Private Limited, Shri Anbucharian sir. He is a graduate mechanical engineer with post-graduation in management. He has 32 years of experience in engineering, education, and manufacturing. He worked with pioneer industries like Alloy Steel Foundry, TVS Group Company, Wings India Limited. He was heading the quality management, product development, and Six Sigma deployment functions in Wheels India for 11 years. He closely worked with most of the automobile companies to make in India possible in late 90s on selective parts. He joined Caterpillar India Private Limited in 2007 as a Sigma Master Black Belt. He trained 2000 plus black belts and coached 500 plus projects from last 12 years. Currently, he is General Manager Operations in Caterpillar India Private Limited for Trivandrum brand. Anbucharian sir is certified Six Sigma Master Black Belt, qualified Lean Champion, and qualified Change Master by Caterpillar University. He also got a postgraduate diploma in quality management along with a certification for managing customer and quality from UK University. He is a certified trainer for Making Great Leaders program and got trained by Indian School of Business for Leadership. He is an active member of Confederation of Indian Industry (CII). Now he is elected member of CII Tamilnadu State Council, co-chairman of Tamil Nadu State Manufacturing and Competitiveness Panel, and chairman of CII Tamil Nadu State Smart Manufacturing Forum. He was the jury member of the AICTE CII Excellence Award. He is a member of Executive Committee for Anna University Industry Institution Collaboration Center. He is a member of ASQ and a National Excellence Committee member of NIQ. He visited US, China, Thailand, and Korea to learn the best manufacturing practices. He works with the global partners for driving excellence in manufacturing. With a great respect and honor, let me invite co-convener CII Tamil Nadu Manufacturing Panel, GM Operations Caterpillar India Private Limited, Shri Anbucharian sir, to address the gathering.
Mrs. Bhavani Madam, and Mr. USP Yadav, Industry Friendly Secretary, Mr. Krishnan, and Mr. Mylapore, and person representing Mr. Umavati. Good evening to all. So on behalf of Confederation of Indian Industry, Tamil Nadu State, I thank BIS for inviting me to share my experience as well as experience of my CIE colleagues. It is great occasion. So celebrating these 75 years, it is sustainability as a fact. So in my speech, I am not going to talk about the consumer side marking or certification. I'm just going to elevate your thinking process, how the BIS helped the engineering industries, mainly the medium or large scale industries, are the global partners. And most of my industry colleagues have a wrong perception. The standards and codes are controlling us, not making progress possible. That's what the feeling most of the industry members used to have. But with my 32 years of industrial experience, I can justify that how the standards, especially the standards released, published by the BIS, help the Indian industries to grow and make progress possible in this country. For example, in the early 90s, I was a quality manager for a alloy steel foundry. We used a steel grade called IS 2644. It was alloy steel. So I have to test that steel for impact testing at minus 46 degrees centigrade. So it is going for a low temperature country application. And there was a third party inspector to come and certify that, yes, it is meeting the standard requirement. There was always a dispute, disagreement between the third party inspector and my team members. Because the minus 46 degree can be created on a steel only using a dry ice. My company was 150 kilometers away from city. Even to get the dry ice, I had to come to city and bring that. That was a tedious process at that time. I'm talking about 1991, 30 years ago. So there was always a dispute. The inspector say you are not maintaining minus 46. When you move the job sample to the machine, it drops the temperature. There was always a dispute and we were struggling. Then we found that there is a IS standard, IS 1499. Therefore, that it clearly says that plus or minus 2 degrees centigrade is a tolerance allowed. With that standard, you are able to convince the third party inspector to move on. Otherwise, it was a stagnated stalemate. So while I'm talking about this small incident as an example, even 30 years ago, the BIS standards were more robust to make progress possible in this country. So we definitely have to thank BIS for that. Otherwise, at the time the company was exporting 40% exports, that allies the company. That is not possible without that. So all the day-to-day challenges what we have, it was resolved by the standards. In my view, standards should have a clarity. Yes, in my 32 years of experience, I almost deal with all standards, European standards, American standards, Japanese standards. But my view is the standards should have the clarity and should give them deeper understanding about the process or the product. It should not be vague enough. So, and it also should be broader on coverage. Clarity, depth, and broader in coverage, and should be relevant to the reality. These are the four criteria of what I put as a best standard. I think most of the standards published by BIS are having absolute clarity in its content. Anybody can read and understand what it is. There is no ambiguity here. With the record depth, whatever the details required is there. So there is no ambiguity in that because some of the international standards are very difficult to interpret. But one of the biggest advantage with the BIS standards is it has a clarity and it has a required content. The coverage of our IS standards is much broader than any other international standard. If you see the ranges of the standards from the raw material procurement, component design, inspection, testing, product evaluations, whatever you may be, you have IS standard. So that is the biggest thing. I don't see any other international standard having covering this much. They talk about the sand. So whatever it is there. And most of the standards are at par with the global standards without compromising on the relevant to the reality. And also, BIS, not only to manage the day-to-day challenges, it also helped the Indian industry to scale up. We started the globalization as a drive in the country. I can definitely vouch that the BIS helped the Indian manufacturing to scale up. I'll give an example for that. In late 90s, when multiple global companies came into India to procure the Indian produced components, especially the major players are automotive companies. Almost we got the automobile companies from all continents in the globe. So every company, every automobile company came with their own standards. German standard, American standard, Japanese standard, all those things. At the time, our Indian component manufacturers literally struggle how to manage that multiple variety of standards, which talks about minor change in the nickel chromium or titanium or micro elements, all those things. It was a nightmare. Everyone was struggling. And it is raw material procurement or the processing, inspection, everywhere there. But when the industries try to identify what is the nearest IS standard available for the plain steel or carbon steel or the alloy steel, we were able to identify for almost near standard for all the specifications given by the global players. And we were able to do the micro adjustment in the processing. For example, the steel procurement was a challenge. Some Japanese standard talks about some additional alloying or something like that. We just took our major steel makers to do some adjustment in the final stage of the steel processing to get the standard. So it has helped drastically scaling up for the global demands. When I browsed the BIS website, I found that more than 21,000 standards were published by BIS for the last 75 years. It is amazing. I can clearly say that it is a silent work done by BIS for the sound performance of Indian industry. We have to give a big round of applause for the wonderful job. As the Secretary told, it is one of the organizations to be celebrated or recognized in a broader way. We talk about the industrial growth, so it was enabled by so many things like a BAS in a silent way. So there is no use in having a standard, ideal standard or absolute standard, which is not possible to use it. Yeah, that should be a relevance to the reality. Otherwise, we can't manufacture anything according to the standard if the standard does not have a relevance. So objective of standard is to take care of consumer safety and quality. We talk about the brand and the marketing. So it guarantees a safety and quality. An interesting fact I want to share here. In the late 90s, when a lot of mobile companies from globe came into India, some of the globally designed components has failed when they were tested for Indian standards, which was published by Bureau of Indian Standards. Why? There was no relevance to that design with the reality. There was dispute in the testing agency and the designers, and they understood that these IS standards are more robust and reflecting the Indian road conditions. Then they changed the certain design in their own design. So it is a great lesson for the global players from IS standards. Standards should take care of both consumer risk as well as producer risk at an appropriate proposition. I think it's already existing in our published standards. I strongly believe that none of the standards is irrelevant. It is manufacturable. At the same time, it guarantees safety and quality. So thanks to BAS for helping the industries to sustain, ensure the survival of the industry as well as growth of the industry in a big way when we have a global competitive environment. So it is always helping the capability enhancement in our industries. Without BAS, without standards, Indian industry cannot grow. It is a strong belief And when we celebrate this 75 years of independence and 75 years of BIS birth, what next? That also we have to think about that. Because we are moving towards 100 years. What do we want to do? So before joining industry, I have no idea about standards. Even I don't know what is BIS. Because even though I was teaching engineering college for 2 years before joining, I have no idea. None of the engineers studying in the college does not have any idea about standards. So as a team, how to cultivate that awareness and education in the education institution when the engineering students are getting prepared for the industry jobs. Something we have to do for that. It needs a collaboration between institutions and BIS and industries. And every organization is designed to serve the society in their own way. How to move closer together and for the betterment of our service. So need to plan a strong collaboration with the more interaction between industries and institutions such as BIS. So it is a starting point inviting CAA for this. Thanks for that. As I think we need to enhance the brand value of made in India product and services. Because we are talking about making Tamilnadu as a manufacturing hub for the global needs. So how to make that happen? We need to identify and work on the opportunities, how to simplify our governance processes with an objective of enhancing the ease of doing business is possible. But easing the doing the business to accelerate our growth. So with that, thanks to BAST and organizations with all the winners and collaborating with the BAS and serving this country for a quality product and service. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for acknowledging the role of BIS in the growth of Indian industry. Also, we would like to bring to your kind notice that BIS has started more than 100 standards clubs in Tamil Nadu, which includes BIS officials going to schools and creating awareness among the school children. And also, we are planning to start the standards as a subject in the engineering colleges. Thank you. BIS has grown immensely. BIS has grown immensely in strength and stature along with our nation for the past 75 years. To commemorate the evolution of BIS in becoming the national standards body of India, an audiovisual has been prepared covering the journey of BIS in its lofty target of achieving Atmanirbhar in quality.
Bureau of Indian Standards, BIS, is the national standards body of India which grants license to both Indian and foreign manufacturers for use of standard mark, that is, ISI mark, and hallmarks gold jewelry. BIS was formerly known as ISI, that is, Indian Standard Institution, which was established on 6th of January 1947. As a society under the Societies Registration Act. Dr. Lal C. Varman, the Vice President of ISO, became the first director of ISI. The core activities of BIS are standard formulation, conformity assessment, that is, product certification, system certification, foreign manufacturers certification scheme, FMCS, and registration scheme, hallmarking, laboratory services, consumer engagement, and training. The first breakthrough in the history of BIS is the formulation of the first Indian standard, that is IS-1, the specifications of the national flag of India, cotton khadi, in 1951. ISI Certification Act was passed in 1952, and the first product certification license, that is ISI mark, was granted in 1955 to Messrs. Allen Industries, Kundra, Kerala, as per IS 398, Part 2, for for the aluminium conductor galvanized steel reinforced for electrical transmission purposes. The foundation stone of Manak Bhavan was laid in 1954 in New Delhi, where the headquarters of BIS is situated. Numerous developmental activities were undertaken by ISI between 1947 and 1985. Regional offices were formed in Delhi, Mumbai, 1955, Calcutta, 1956, and Chennai, 1957. The Chennai Regional Office started functioning in the famous Satyamurthy Bhavan, a historic monument of Indian freedom struggle. Then, the regional office was moved to the present building in 1976. 9 branch offices function under Chennai Regional Office. Chennai Branch Office 1, Chennai Branch Office 2, Coimbatore, Madurai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Visakhapatnam, Hubli, and Kochi, which was earlier in Thiruvananthapuram. BIS has 8 laboratories to support the operation of its certification scheme. The central laboratory is located at Sahibabad. The other laboratories are the Southern Regional Lab at Chennai, the Western Regional Lab at Mumbai, and the Eastern Regional Lab at Kolkata, and the Northern Regional Lab at Mohali. Apart from these, 3 labs at branch office level at Patna, Bengaluru, and Guwahati are also functioning. In addition, 195 outside labs have been recognized under Laboratory Recognition Scheme, LRS, of BIS. Besides, 47 government labs, laboratories of national repute, are empaneled by BIS. BIS is a member of International Organization for Standardization, ISO, International Electrotechnical Commission, IEC, Pacific Area Standards Congress, PASC, South Asian Regional Standards Organization, SARSO, SARSO. BIS participates in formulation of international standards by attending meetings of technical committees. BIS has signed many memorandums of understanding and mutual recognition agreements with various countries. To commemorate 25 years of ISI, the year 1972 was declared as Indian Standards Year by Government of India. In the year 1986, ISI became BIS by the enactment of Bureau of Indian Standards Act, 1986. BIS Quality Management Systems Certification Scheme, QMSCS, as per ISO 9001, was introduced in 1991. In 1995, National Institute of Training for Standardization, NITS, was established. NITS organizes training programs for industry, laboratory quality control, personnel, technical committee members, and BIS officials. International training programs are also organized with the assistance of the Ministry of External Affairs for developing countries of Asia, Africa, Europe, and Latin America in the field of standardization, management systems, certification, and laboratory testing. Various awareness programs are also conducted for educational institutions, consumers, and industry sectors. BIS has developed over 21,000 standards covering product test methods, code of practice, etc. As a major milestone in the history of BIS, hallmarking of gold jewelry was introduced in 2000 and became mandatory from 2021. The first license under Foreign Manufacturer Certification Scheme, FMCS, was granted in 2001. Hallmarking of silver jewelry was introduced in 2005. Requirement for compulsory registration by self-declaration of conformity started in 2013 for electronics and information technology goods. To cope up with the revolution of information technology, National Portal for Monitoring Digital Application was introduced in 2015. The new BIS Act 2016 came into force. BIS Goes Digital, that is, Smart Registration in 2018, and Smart BIS website was launched in 2018. The National Laboratory Directory was launched in 2019 for the benefit of stakeholders, and eBIS was also launched in 2020. Another milestone of Laboratory Information Management System, LIMS, was launched in 2020. The BIS Care mobile app was launched to access license details and lodge complaints. Hallmarking Unique Identification System, HUID, has been introduced in 2021 for gold jewelry to protect the interest of the customers. The complete details of the jewelry purchased can be known through HUID. Under Atmanirbhar Bharat program, Make in India, BIS, in its 75th anniversary, has reached an important milestone in the journey of achieving self-sufficiency in quality and standards. At this juncture, BIS pledges its dedication and commitment to serve the nation and our people for years to come. Bureau of Indian Standards acknowledges those who have been a part of the quality war to build a self-sufficient India.
BIS can play its role in building the quality infrastructure of the nation only with the support of our licenses. In recognition of your dedication to quality and wonderful association with BIS for more than 50 years, we take great pride in presenting an award as a token of our respect for this mutual reinforcing journey.
Now I request F. Perumal, now I request Mr. S. Perumal and Mr. A.J. Rajesh from Travancore Titanium Products Limited to receive the award. The license was granted to Travancore Titanium Products for the India Standard 411, and the product name is titanium dioxide for paints on the date 18th September 1958. Now I would like to request Shri Ravi and Menon sir from Taco Cable Limited to receive the award. The license was granted to Cable Limited for IS 694 and IS 1554 on the year 1965. First, Mr. A. Karthik from ESAB India Limited. The license was granted to ESAB India Limited for the product IS 814 on the year 1966.
Now I'd like to request T Money from Mysore India Limited to receive the award. The license has been granted for IS 2556 Part 2 2004, that is Vitreous Sanitary Appliances, Vitreous China. The license was granted on 6th of October 1967. Also, we welcome Mr. Navaratnam B, DCW Limited, to receive the award. The license has been granted as per IS 245 1988 Telecom Right-Level Technical Specifications. We would request Mr. Amarnath Gupta from Concord Helmet and Safety Products Private Limited to receive the award. The license has been granted for IS 2925 Industrial Safety Helmets. Also, we would like to now request Mr. M. Eliason from Unified Appliances, Tamil Nadu. License has been granted for IS 2082, that is stationary storage of electric water meters. The license has been granted in 21st of September 1972.
Next, we would like to request Mr. K. Harichandra Prasad from Bureau Veritas India Private Limited to receive the award. Also, we would like to request MPK Parthasarathi sir Laboratory to receive the award. Now, we would like to request Mr. James Jose from CIT Colony to receive the award. We also request Mr. R.V. Sumar sir from Green Gem Testing India Private Limited to receive the award. Now, I would like to request Kesar Harmonic Center to receive the award. Now, we would like to request Shri K.M. Srinath sir from Mohan Jewelry to receive the award. And also Gautam sir, Gautam M to receive the award. Also, we would like to request Shri S.R. Sir, Telechandran sir from SPD Shanmugam Jewelers to receive the award. Now, I would request Deputy Director General Shri USP Yadav sir to present a memento to our acclaimed chief guest Shri S. Anand sir IAS as a token of togetherness and gratitude. Today, we have among us our guest of honor, President Tamilnadu Small and Tiny Industries Association, Shri K. Mariyappan sir. He is BE graduate Mechanical and Industrial Engineering degree. His professional summary includes Managing Director, State Cluster Services, Salem Private Limited, Salem Industries, Exporter and Importer, Chartered Engineer, Government Approved Value by Finance Ministry. Now, sir, currently holding the following positions: President, Tamil Nadu Small and Tiny Industries Associations, Founder President, Salem District Small Scale and Tiny Industries Association, National Council Member for SME Forum India, and he is a member of many industry committees. Sir has visited various countries to participate in international industrial trade fairs. With a great respect and honor, let me invite President TANSTIA, Shri K. Mylapore sir, to give the presentation on today's theme.
என்னுடைய பணிவான வணக்கங்கள். It's a great opportunity to dance here to participate in this wonderful 75th annual celebration of BIS. 2 weeks back, the BIS conducted a state committee meeting under the chairmanship of the Chief Secretary, in the committee. I'm also one of the members. In that meeting, we discussed that BIS has to support all the 38 revenue districts in Tamilnadu for capacity building programs to make awareness for the MSMEs who have to get themselves into getting the registration of these or various certificates. Recently, Tamil Nadu government has made an order. Those who are getting subsidy, they have to compulsorily get ISO certificate. So this is another important issue. The message I want to convey, and actually I wanted to discuss our secretary and additional chief secretary. That once yesterday, the chief minister has declared on his new scheme, that is SRM Institute of Science and Technology and DIC, they entered into MOU. That is, they are going to give direct funding for the startups and the incubators. Like that, I am requesting the government to officially request the chief minister, industry secretary, and MSME secretary to give an interest subvention of 1% for the MSMEs who are coming for loan to DIC. Those who are purchasing only ISI branded machine tools. Once that is made, almost many of these small manufacturers in Tamil Nadu will definitely get ISO certificates, and the entrepreneurs will be getting quality machines. So like that, the government can give them benefits. So a lot of information are already received, and I don't want to talk much about this one. And innovative friendly startup ecosystem by partnership to stakeholders is the dream of our chief minister. He is repeatedly telling that quality has to be made from the small level, from micro industries to all levels. But in the last meeting, Madam Bhavani was telling that they have presented the center, the importance, and also the water, mineral waters we are using. Most of the people are not getting the ISO. It has become a mushroom flow. Actually, drinking water is has to be protected with this ISO. So that is, we have made such a request, and our chief secretary assured to our madam that our deputy director, that for the southern region, state government will be taking all initiatives. Regarding the TANSTIA, I would like to share with you that we are having more than 220 various types of industry associations as our members, and now we are providing advisory service, primary education, GST, trademark registration, digital marketing, quality certificate, Class E7, export promotion council certificates. All these items we are doing for the benefit of the MSMEs, and for any problem in getting the approvals, TANSTIA is one of the members of the guidance bureau, and any districts, anybody is having problem in getting approved from the single window, you can contact TANSTIA and as one of the administrative board directors, definitely TANSTIA will help you for startups and also any problem faced by any other department. Even Reserve Bank of India, any problem is that we are helping the MSME units in such a way that the problems are solved. So once again, I'm very grateful and thankful for BIS and the team for giving us an opportunity. I don't want to repeat all the names of the sitting in the state because when the time is going on. So once again, I thank our organizations and I assure that definitely TANSTIA will be with you for promoting the ISO certificate for the manufacturers of machine tools and also for the MSME unit entrepreneurs. So we will definitely join with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. We assure you that our collaboration with TANSTIA will be going on for the future for helping the upliftment of MSME sector in the country. Also, I'm pleased to introduce to you our guest of honor, Managing Director of Voltech Group, Shri M. Umapati sir. With an impeccable academic record, Mr. M. Umapati completed his BE in Electrical and Electronics Engineering and has a 36 long years of experience in the field of engineering. The most significant era of Voltech began in the year of 1995 when Mr. Umapati started Voltech Engineers as a proprietorship company, which is iconic entrepreneurship. Mr. Umapati's overflowing ideas with profound sense of versatility enable him to proprietor the Voltech branches even on foreign country soil. Mr. Umapati is a pioneer not only in applied engineering but also in social responsibility by imparting a considerable part of his income for the education of the underprivileged and needy children. He is an effective conversationalist and in the official language and concurrent official languages of India, that is Hindi, English, and the natural vehicle of thought is Tamil. Now, because of a small sickness, sir has not been present in this August meeting. Now, I will request Mr. T. Haridaj from Voltech Group to give his award.
Good evening. I know I'm going to stand between you and the dinner, but I'll make it very short. One of the credentials was read out by a gentleman. Only one thing is common between me and him, that is the number of years of experience. The rest all Mr. Mahot's effort to have brought this company to this level. So I quickly get into that, a small presentation. Before that, respected dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and distinguished audience. I'm just reading out the message or what Mr. Umapati would have read out. I'm just reading it on his behalf. I'm extremely happy and thankful to Bureau of Indian Standards, Southern Regional Office, for having considered me to be the guest speaker for celebration of iconic peak program under Azadi Amrit Mahotsav. I'd like to develop upon the quality and standardization with reference to quality systems, procedures, and standards adopted by Voltech Group of companies. But I'm also going to talk about how BIS has contributed us from a very small company to now a global company. Before that, I would like to define the standards can be as simple as follows. A, fitness for use. 2, performance to requirements. 3, do it right the first time and every time. And 4, consistency in meeting quality standards. We are a pioneer in manufacturing. Presentation, please. Yes. Yeah, but you're going a bit fast. You know, so I said that. See, yes. Yeah, that's all. That's very important. We are a pioneer in manufacturing various products and services sector, especially investing in commissioning of electrical systems, operations, and maintenance, engineering, and human resource sectors. Hotel Group commenced its operation in a simple way, in a car shed, way back in 1995. And today, it has a multi-storied corporate office at Ahimemagar, Chennai. It's spread across pan-India, and we are present in 50 countries, including ASEAN, Middle East, Far East, US, and CIS. The group turnover, as you can see, is currently around 600 crores. For any organization to sustain from 1995 till now, that's about 27 years, the fundamental foundation should be quality, meeting the standards expected by various customers in the chosen field, and at a competitive price. You have to meet the standards, the quality, or exceed the quality standards, and be competitive. Otherwise, there's no fun in it, right? You'll have a best of the qualities, but you'll not have the market. As you could see, that we had 7 companies. I'm not going into individual companies and 7 products. We have spread the wings globally based on adherence to strict quality procedures adopted by not only in India, but various international organizations like ADMA, RAMA, ADIA, etc. The quality products and services are the passport to travel globally. And we have experienced it, and I urge upon every one of you to insist in your respective organization that quality is the only thing which can take us to places. Converting the customer aspirations into desired expectation is an art by itself. Customer vision has to be understood by any organization and work towards their vision to make it a reality in terms of products, services, and engineering. We also have a robust system of handling customer complaints and resolving the issues through root cause analysis and using tools like fishbone diagram, file wise, Pareto charts, etc. I'm also delighted to inform you that we have established calibration lab at Chennai for mechanical, electrical, and thermal instruments, duly accredited by NABL. Not only in India, but also we have established a calibration lab at Kuwait for serving Middle East countries for various oil and gas industries and utilities. This is a very rare sight indeed. You would agree that all this stands testimony for our stringent quality standards. Further, the transformer factory, which is situated near Chennai at Sriperumbudur, we carry out the routine and temperature rise at our NABL accredited lab that has been set up to meet custom standards. That also helps us to carry out certain yearly temperature rise tests as mandated by BIS. To corroborate my statement, I'm very proud to inform you that August audience that Water Group has received the best highest practices in O&M category, that is operational maintenance category. The award given by Bharat Aluminium Company Limited, plus O&M service provider. The award given by Mission Energy Foundation in year 2018, and 100% skill certified vendor given by Tata Steel. All our group companies have been certified as ISO 9009-2015, quality management systems, and quality policy has been displayed at all our workplaces and factories. Quality Week is being celebrated at Quality Group every year by conducting quiz and slogans for all our employees. I'll now briefly touch upon association with BIS. We have been associated with BIS Chennai region for the past 8+ years and applied the BIS licenses for 2 products category. One is flame-proof enclosures equipment protection EXP IS 60079. The second one is for oil cooled distribution transformers IS 1180. These licenses are obtained in order to improve the quality standards and thereby deliver quality products to the nation. The guidance and awareness rendered to licensees by BIS Southern Region are immense. Just to give an example, Recently, BIS has formed a WhatsApp group with all manufacturers of respective regions for each product category and conduct video sessions for updating the latest amendments and clarifying all our doubts. This initiative by BIS will definitely enhance our confidence to move forward and to adopt BIS procedures effectively. We were told that they started in way back in January 1947, but adopting the technology is also one of the very important things. And today, WhatsApp, I think we are bringing whatever standards and amendments as fast as possible and quickly through video conferencing, clarifying our doubts. I think credit goes to you, ma'am, and sir, for that wonderful initiative. Such video sessions are useful to get collective opinion of all manufacturers at a given time and arrive at an acceptable solution. Regular periodic audits conducted by our Act manufacturing units by BIS officials to ensure adherence to ISO norms gives us good confidence and is highly appreciated by all of us. I congratulate BIS Southern Region for their dedicated efforts to stimulate specifications and methods to monitor the quality of products delivered to the nation. To summarize, we are fully satisfied with the guidance and swift response rendered by BIS Southern Region through MANA online portal to deliver quality goods to the nation. We once again congratulate and thank the BIS Southern Region for organizing such a wonderful year. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for providing an insight into the Voltec Group. BIS has always had high honor for its licenses. Today, in this meeting, we have felicitated our licensees with whom we have 50 plus years of association. But we also like to inform you that we have honored licensees even with 25 plus of plus association with BIS. And now we want the audience to acknowledge an audio visual honoring of 25 years of BIS licenses by various branch offices.
Now, I would like to request Dr. E. Bhaskaran sir, Joint Director, Entrepreneurship Development and Innovative Institute, Government of Tamil Nadu, to give insights about special subsidy schemes initiated by Government of Tamil Nadu.
Thank you. So I'm from Industry Department. See, we have MSME policy in there. We have one scheme called Scheme for Enhancing Competitiveness. So under the reinvestment of charges incurred by the MSME for acquiring ISO 9000 or 9001 or ISO 14001 or Azadi Analysis and Control Point HACCP, ISO 22000, good hygienic practices, good manufacturing practices, Bureau of Indian Standard certification, zero defect, zero effect certification or any other international quality certification recognized in India by competent authority. This includes payment towards certification and consultancy charges. So eligibility is any MSME in the state, quantum of incentive 100%. So we are giving 2 lakhs for national certification, 10 lakh for international certification. You can contact our Industries Department website, MSME tamilnadu.tn.gov.in. Under that you can see this. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving details about subsidy scheme for Government of Tamil Nadu. Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. On behalf of Bureau of Indian Standards, now I request Deputy Director General, Southern Region, Shri USB Yadav sir, to present a memento to our acclaimed guest of honor, Shri N. Anpuchariya sir, as a token of togetherness and gratitude. I would request Shri N. to present a memento to our respected guest of honor, Shri K. as a token of togetherness and gratitude.
I also would request Scientist and Chennai Branch Office Head, Srimati G. Bhavani ma'am, to present the memento to our respected guest of honor. Shri T. Highlight, sir, as a part of
Some memories are unforgettable, remaining ever wild and heartwarming. Today's program will be surely one of them for all of us. Now I would request Scientist B, Chennai Branch Office 1, D. Bhanukiran to give vote of thanks.
It is an honor to have been asked to offer vote of thanks on the occasion of this auspicious celebration of iconic week as part of Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav. No event can be successful without people who dedicate the resources and time to make sure everything is faultless. I, D. Bhanu Kiran, on behalf of Bureau of Indian Standards, I am very grateful to all the speakers for sharing the graceful words with us in today's meeting. We are blessed to have a great amalgamation of eminent personalities from various facets of the system, including administrators, our glorious PSUs, industrial stakeholders, and various other departments. We are thankful to see USP Yadav sir, Deputy Director General, Southern Region, Bureau of Indian Standards, for his keynote address, where he emphasized upon the importance of standardization in achieving the efficiency and expressed immense pride and happiness in organizing this spectacular event and congratulated all the licensees for achieving this spectacular feat. We are thankful for Srimati G. Bhavani, Scientist E and Head, Chennai Branch Office 1, for her welcome address and who informed about the objectives of program, and later on for her presentation on collective journey from independence to Atmanirbhar in quality. We are fortunate to have the Honorable and respected Chief Guest, C.S. Krishnan Sir, IAS, Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Tamil Nadu, for sparing his precious time by inaugurating the program, for lauding the great work of BIS, and inform that government is actively pursuing all efforts in inculcating quality culture in all departments. We are obliged to the renowned guest speaker and Anbucherian Sir, co-convener CIA, Tamilnadu Manufacturing Panel, and GM Operations Caterpillar Industries Limited, who mentioned about the phenomenal growth of the industry since independence and felt that renaissance has taken place with respect to the industrial growth in Tamil Nadu. We are indebted to a renowned speaker, Sri K. Mariyappan, President TANSTIA, who informed that the small and tiny industries are getting the right attention of the government departments and has led to tremendous growth of entrepreneurship. We are grateful to our renowned guest, Sri T. Hariraj, Group CEO, Voltec Group of Companies, who expressed his happiness in the support rendered by BIS with respect to industry upgradation. I also wish to express my gratitude for the comparing team and networks team for enabling us to run the function smoothly. We would like to acknowledge our gratitude to the audience for their active participation and patient listening. We hope this meeting will instill a sense of standardization and pave way for the growth of quality infrastructure in the country and make the nation Atmanirbhar in quality. I extend my sincere thanks to the media personnel for their extensive coverage and the hotel management for their coordinate arrangements for this session. I cannot thank everyone enough for this involvement in background work and the willingness to take on the completion of the task beyond my comfort zones to make this celebration a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavani, for the wonderful vote of thanks. Before proceeding for the dinner, I request everyone to rise for the national anthem. Thank you.
Just a minute, sir. This is again from MSME Department, Government of Tamil Nadu. We just an information that we at Central Electrical Testing Laboratory, Tiruvallur, have introduced LED testing facilities for both LED lamps and fittings, inaugurated by our Honorable CM yesterday. So I request industry people to make use of the test facility for LED lamps and fitting at our own state. Thank you, kind of you. Thank you, BAS, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you. I will request all the guests and participants to kindly join us for dinner. Thank you.
Process.